Hello, Harry.
What are you doing here?
I hope you don't mind. I had to see a rep in Leicester.
You promised me you'd always telephone first.
Yes, I know I did, but today's rather special, isn't it?
Why?
Oh, good God, don't tell me I've got it wrong. It is your birthday, isn't it?
Yes, it's my birthday.
Well, it doesn't look like much of a party so far.
Hard-working barristers living alone don't go in much for birthday parties.
I'm sorry.
No need for it.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. It's beautiful.
It's Dresden, and paid for. It'll go in here, won't it?
Yes, of course it will. Drink?
Yes, I'd love one. Thank you, and just a spot of water.
Say when.
When? Cheers. Ah, that was good. I missed this, you know. Oh, not the drink. I wouldn't try and kid you. I mean the decanter, crystal glass.
Job getting you down?
Yes, it is a bit. I mustn't complain, I suppose. I was lucky to get it after I came out of prison. It's just that when you've been a solicitor, you're used to people treating you with respect. They haven't got much respect for area sales managers. Not with the junk we're selling.
Why did you come here?
To give you your present.
And that's all?
Well, yes, there was one thing.
You never change, do you?
Is Michael well?
Yes. Doesn't he write to you?
Oh, not much. I'm bad for his image.
He doesn't write to me all that much either. He phones. Reverse charge. Come on, Jimmy, tell me what you came for.
Well, it's a funny thing. I ran into an old friend the other day. I hadn't seen him for, 5 or 6 years. He was one of a bridge four I used to play in.
Do I know him?
I shouldn't think so. We played together in prison. He and I were partners. An ex-solicitor and a thief against a couple of con men. We used to play for tobacco. It was the most serious bridge I've ever played in my life. But Eddie was good, thank God. We needed the smokes.
Eddie?
Eddie Plater. It was quite an honor to have him as a partner. He'd robbed a bank. No shotguns or stocking masks. No, Eddie Plater was a craftsman. Pick, a shovel, touch of gelignite, and a lot of patience. Yes, that's Plater. A lot of patience. Anyway, I told him about us.
What about us?
Well, all sorts of things. I mean, he knows you're a barrister.
A lot of people do.
We didn't meet by accident, Harry. He'd been looking for me. There was a bank job a couple of weeks ago. The police picked him up for it. He wants you to defend him.
Is that why he came to see you?
He was afraid you might turn him down.
Why should I?
Because he's done time.
There's more than that, I take it.
Yes, his solicitors. He's with Taunton and Muff.
Then I can't act for him, even if he is an old friend of yours. Taunton and Muff. Well, apart from other things, they owe me money. I told them 3 years ago I wouldn't act for them again, and I won't. Tell him to try elsewhere.
I don't think I can.
I mean it. I won't act for him.
He's a nice man, Plater. I mean, he came to me out of friendship, that's all. But some of his friends aren't like that. He has some very rough friends.
I hope you're not lying.
Well, if you turn me down now, I'll soon know. Thanks for the drink.
He could try Jardine and Company. If they'll take him, Jardine could instruct me. Is he out on bail?
Yes, 5,000 his own and 2 sureties.
He has means, then.
Oh, he owns his own garage. Don't worry, he can afford you.
Jimmy. Why did he ask for me?
Well, the word's got round that you get them off. I wish I'd been lucky enough to have somebody like you when I was in trouble. I still miss you, Harry. You're on, Eddie boy.
Right, now tell me why I have to change my solicitor.
She won't act for Taunton and Muff.
Why not?
And she's very moral, my ex.
And Taunton and Muff aren't, eh?
You know damn well they're not.
No, they're as bent as I am, Jimmy boy. That's why I got them.
But you're not a lawyer, you're a client.
And that makes a difference, eh?
Well, it does to Harriet. You're to go to Jardine and Company. Ask for Mr. Jardine himself.
Why?
Because he's honest. Be good for your image, Eddie.
That's important.
It's vital if you want Harry.
All right, what do I do? Just walk in and ask for him?
Well, I don't see why not. Your money's as good as anybody else's. Or you could say that Miss Peterson sent you.
What are you up to?
Oh, just helping a pal find a lawyer, that's all.
Yeah, for 100 quid. And another 500 if I don't go down. That sounds like you, Jimmy. But there's something else, isn't there?
You know me, Eddie.
I should do after 3 years inside with you. But you know me, too. So don't muck me about, will you?
Oh, what can I do for you, Mr. Plater?
Well, it's a bit difficult.
Yes, it very often is, isn't it? Oh, don't worry, take your time.
Well, I'm in a bit of trouble. No, I'm in a lot of trouble.
In what way?
You heard of the Northern Counties Bank job 2 weeks ago, £30,000. They've charged me with it.
Indeed. That's a very serious charge.
Yes, I believe you.
You're on bail?
Yes, me and two sureties, £5,000.
That's a great deal of money.
Doing all right. I own a garage.
Oh, I take it you want me to represent you, Mr. Plater. Oh, don't you already have a solicitor?
Well, I did have Taunton and Muff, but I got rid of them.
Why was that?
Well, I'll be honest with you, Mr. Jardine.
Yes, I should hope so.
No, I mean really honest. I've done this sort of thing before, you see, and I got 5 years. Believe me, that changed me. When I come out, I got married and I settled down. I've got 2 kids now. Look.
Oh, yes, that's very nice, isn't it? Yes, forgive me, I'm a little pressed for time. Now, what has this got to do with wishing to change your solicitor?
Well, you see, when the coppers picked me up, I panicked and I asked for the same solicitors as last time.
Oh, go on.
Well, I don't want to slander anybody.
Oh, you can speak quite freely, Mr. Plater. This is an occasion of privilege. Slander doesn't arise.
Well, you see, I'm straight now. No, I mean straight right down the line. And, well, with my record, I've got no option. And I want a good solicitor to represent me. Money's no object.
All solicitors are straight, Mr. Plater. Oh, like you, they have to be. Well, if they're not, they're struck off. And I'm afraid I don't do an awful lot of criminal law, you know. There are others who do very much more, and I could call one for you.
I'd rather have you, Mr. Jardine.
It'd be a very expensive business.
Well, I've got the means. I own the garage.
Even so.
Are you saying you don't want to represent me?
No. No, not precisely, no.
Miss Peterson said different.
Oh, Miss Peterson, the barrister.
That's right.
And she told you to ask for me.
Well, she told a mate of mine.
Oh, you sent your friend to see her?
That's right.
Why?
I want her to defend me.
Is it, don't you know it's most irregular to approach a barrister direct in such a matter?
Well, no, I didn't, not then, but she said, tell him to get a good solicitor like Mr. Jardine, she said, and then we'll see.
But didn't she know that you were already represented?
But I wasn't not then, you see. I got rid of them the day before. They were a right bunch.
No, I can't have that.
I'm sorry, but we are talking about a lady, aren't we?
Yes, we are indeed.
From what I hear, she's a very clever lady. I'm going to need all that if I'm going to get off. Come on, what do you say?
Excuse me. Yeah?
Holden v. Holden, sir. We've just heard we've been put back till not before 2 o'clock. Number 1 court.
Oh, yes. Miss Peterson is acting for us, isn't she?
Yes, sir.
Now, you better make sure she's been informed.
Very good.
Thank you. Now, you better tell me all about it, Mr. Plater. From the beginning.
You've got him, Jimmy.
Great.
Yes, I think it is. That wife of yours.
Ex-wife.
She's right, you know. Jardine to make mincemeat of Taunton and Muff. What's more, he's honest.
Well, of course he is.
No, but I mean, really honest, right down the line, like he'd won cups for it, you know. You know, I've got a feeling you might even get that extra 500. I've got a feeling that him and your ex might even get me off.
Well, I thought...
Very good settlement. I'm extremely indebted to you, Miss Peterson.
Hearts and flowers, Mr. Jardine. No one can play the violin like Harriet here. I see we're against each other again next week. A fellow charged with robbing a bank.
Will you be doing the committal?
Well, I settle the charge. I like to see my cases through. A fellow called Slater, was it?
Plato.
Oh, are you the instructing solicitor for the defense, Mr. Jardine?
It would appear so.
The unholy alliance. I don't stand a dog's chance. I'll see you in court.
Sorry about that, one of the new boys. Now, where were we?
I used to say I was indebted to you. Now, apparently, it appears I'm even further in your debt.
Indeed.
Yes, this fellow, Plato, apparently came to see me on your instructions.
Hardly that, Mr. Jardine.
Oh, really? Oh, that was what he told me.
For a barrister, the word instructions has too precise a meaning. I suggested he came to see you.
Ah, to a friend of his, I understand.
A mutual friend.
He's not a solicitor.
No, he's a sales manager. He knew Plato was in trouble. He came to me for advice. I told him the correct procedure was to engage a solicitor.
And you mentioned my name.
Yes, it was important Plato went to the right type of firm.
Why me, Miss Peterson? I don't do all that much criminal law.
You do enough to keep in practice and not nearly enough to be stale. Why shouldn't I recommend you, Mr. Jardine? There's nothing wrong in that, surely.
No, not wrong. It's a trifle irregular, perhaps.
Irregular.
Well, I gather the solicitors he had would have been quite unacceptable to you.
They have a certain reputation. I won't accept instructions from them anymore. As for Plato, he's just another client. If you don't want him, all you have to do is say so.
I mean, forgive my mentioning it. It's just that it bothered me. Good day, Monsieur.
Good day, Mr. Jardine.
Buy your drink? I said buy your drink.
No, I don't think. Yes, all right. Except it's my shout, I think.
The important thing is not that drinks should be paid for, but that they should be consumed. My dear Harriet, what is the matter with you?
Nothing.
I made a funny. Come on. Let's talk about Raffles instead. Yes, the master craftsman, this Slater or Plato or whatever it is.
What about it?
Well, I suppose you'll go along with the Section 1 committal.
I don't know.
No.
I'll have to talk to Jardine.
Lord, what?
He is my instructing solicitor.
What's the matter with you? It's only a committal for trial, love. Why are you so bothered?
A bad penny.
All right. 10 minutes. I'm
Very busy, yes, I know you are, but not today, surely.
Why not?
Well, today is Sunday. That's why they ring bells.
My dear Jimmy, in my job, Sunday doesn't exist. What do you want?
Do I smell coffee?
What do you want?
A progress report.
On what, for God's sake?
On our chum from the Nick. Isn't that what you're working on?
No.
I told you, Plato is very important.
They're all important, or so they think.
But this one really is.
Plato goes to the magistrate's court tomorrow. Section 1 committal. You wouldn't know about that. It was after your time.
Yes, a lot of things were. What does that mean?
Statements instead of witnesses. The whole thing will take about 3 minutes. What on earth do you expect me to prepare?
His defense, of course.
An exercises are 5 weeks away. Have you any idea how many cases I'll accept in the next 5 weeks?
You will get him off, though, won't you, Harry?
Is that so important?
Yes, it is.
Why? Why is it important? I took the case. That's all you were asked to make me do, so don't worry.
Plato's the one that's doing all the worrying. You've got to get him off.
Got to? I'll defend Plato to the best of my ability. That's all I can do, even for you. I'm very grateful. It's not often we get such excellent paperwork.
Right, my pleasure, Miss Peterson.
In this case, we're going to need rather more than a good brief. We're in front of Mr. Justice Grimes.
Oh, dear.
He does rather disapprove of this type of crime. Prosecution's bound to make the most of it.
Yes, it does make it a rather more substantial case to answer, I agree.
Depends how well their evidence stands up in the box and on Plato himself.
Will you allow him to give evidence?
Too early to decide. But if I don't, the jury will know we've something to hide.
And there's nothing, of course.
As far as Plato's concerned, Mr. Jardine, nothing. I shall treat him as you treat me, quite professionally.
You know, Miss Peterson, it's always been a pleasure to work with you, a very real pleasure.
Thank you.
And that's why the way this case arose has bothered me so much. I don't altogether relish criminal work, as you know. Had it not been for your recommendation, I think I might have refused, Plato.
I did explain.
Oh, yes, I accept your explanation. No, it's not that.
What then?
It's something about this man himself. Miss Peterson, I must, you know, a little pedantic in manner. And I've been aware of it since my boyhood and quite incapable of breaking the habit. But I'm not a fool. And it's a very rare experience for me to be manipulated by another human being.
You feel Plato's been doing this to you?
I think to both of us. Oh, and indeed to your mutual friend who brought us all together. See, it's a feeling, no more. I've always tended to distrust feelings and instinct and all that. See, the irony of it should be amusing, but it isn't.
Miss Peterson?
Yes?
For you, miss.
Are you sure?
Yes, miss.
Thank you.
Thank you, miss.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Go, lovely Rose, tell her that wastes her time and me.
But now she knows when I resemble her to thee, how sweet and fair she seems to be. Hello, Harry. It's been a long time.
Time enough for you to have learned a new one, I should have thought.
Oh, Edmund Waller's done the trick for the last 30 years. It's a little late to change at my age. Don't you find the same?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid
It's really rather like the music halls. If you find an act that works, stick with it.
Please go.
My name's Kirby, James Kirby. You're forgetting your manners, Harry.
I don't think so. I'm awfully sorry.
Oh, it's quite all right. I understand.
Don't want to rush you, old man. It's just that Harriet and I have got a lot to talk about.
We have not.
Oh, family and all that. Our son.
Okay, I have another appointment. Oh, good Lord, I'm late already. Oh, goodbye, Miss Peterson. Mr.
Why did you have to mention Michael?
I just wanted to talk to you, that's all. You're not going, are you?
I wouldn't bet on it.
You've forgotten your flowers. Here, darling, don't let's make a scene, shall we? I would like to talk to you. Let me buy you a drink. Waiter.
Yes, sir.
Coffee.
Coffee and double brandy and double scotch for me.
Waiter? Just coffee. Now, what are you up to?
I'm not up to anything.
Roses? Brandy? What are you buying?
A bit of company.
Come on.
Oh, I like you, Harry. I always have. There aren't many people I do like. What's the new one like?
I beg your pardon?
Mr. What's he like? Must be a bit of a change after me.
Almost anyone would be.
Oh, come off it, Harry. You've only got to take a look at him. Pompous old fusspot.
He's younger than you are.
Well, he certainly doesn't act it.
You're not jealous.
I could be, if you let me.
You never give a damn for any man I talk to. Well, you might for this one.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
What's so special about him?
He's a solicitor.
Well, there's a lot of them about. Some of them go up the ladders like you. Some land on the snakes like me.
And some of us go on forever, like Mr. Jardine.
Who?
Arthur Randolph Jardine of Jardine and Company.
But that's who you told me to get for Eddie.
Right.
Why?
Because he's the best there is.
That?
That. He's shrewd and painstaking and loyal.
Loyal to who?
The ones he trusts.
Like you?
Not as much as he did.
Yes, I'm sorry about that. Well, he's obviously crazy about
Don't
you.
be ridiculous.
Well, of course he is. It'll be all right.
I hope so. More than I can say for your friend Plato.
Why, what's the matter? I thought Eddie had a very good defense.
It's fair, no more.
60-40?
Even money. A lot of it's up to him.
Are you calling him? Will he be all right?
He ought to be, yes. Except
Except what?
the judge. We're in front of Grimes.
Is that bad?
He hates robbery and robbers.
Well, they haven't proved that Eddie did it yet.
He also has a rather touching faith in the CID.
Oh, you mean he actually says so in court?
Of course not. He doesn't even think like that consciously. On the surface, he's calm, judicial, utterly fair. But underneath, he'll hate your friend Plater. He'll even hate me while it lasts. And if I lose, he'll give him the maximum.
How long's that?
Aggravated burglary life. With his record, if he's lucky, 8 years.
And it's Even's money.
That's all.
How many judges are there at this assize?
3.
We had to get the stinker. What are the others like?
Luke is reasonable. Bosanquet actually likes underdogs and giant killers. With him, I would have said it was 60-40.
But even Luke would have been better than this Grimes.
Well, of course he would, but Grimes is what we've got.
Poor old Eddie. Well, I must go and earn my living. It's been lovely talking to you. Goodbye.
Robilance, talking to a customer.
Fine.
Can I get you something?
I could do with a drink.
There's nothing wrong, is there?
Nothing I can't handle.
Oh, that's all right then. What do you fancy? You know what I mean?
A whiskey will do for the moment.
All right, Alice, I'll take care of this.
I was only getting Mr. Kirby a drink.
I know, I was watching. Go on.
You have a very lovely wife, Eddie.
Yes. I also have a garage to run. Couldn't it wait?
It's urgent, and it could be serious. Are you pouring out?
You've had enough by the look of you.
I need it if I'm going to help you, and I mean it. Make it a big one, will you? How much are you into me for?
£100. Another 500 if I don't go down.
Untraceable?
I'm not that daft, Jimmy boy.
I just wanted to make sure.
All right, tell me the urgent bit.
You've got the wrong judge.
Come again.
There are 3 judges at this assize. The chances of your getting any particular one are 2 to 1. There's Bosanquet, who's reasonable, there's Luke, who's impartial, and there's Grimes, who's a bastard. You drew the bastard.
Keep talking.
He doesn't like thieves, so he's against you from the start. If you're found guilty, you could cop the maximum.
Life? You have to be joking.
If you get Grimes, you could get 8 years minimum, and I'm not joking at all.
Who told you about this Grimes fella?
Oh, Miss Peterson.
So it's straight then, huh?
Well, it's a little late to start playing games.
Are you telling me that I've had it?
Unless we can get you a different judge.
And that's possible?
Could be.
You're not trying to tell me you can bribe a bloody judge?
You look quite shocked when you said that. No, of course not.
What then?
Well, I shall tell a lot of lies. I'm very good at that. It's my job.
Who to?
Oh, all sorts of people. I shall tell them that your case won't be ready when Grimes sits.
Well, then he'll wait.
Oh, no, he's much too busy. They'll wait for a judge who's just finishing a case. What's it worth?
Which one will you get, the soft one?
Bosanquet? Well, I'll try, but even Luke would be better than the monster you've got now. How much, Eddie?
Are you really saying you can do this?
I'll try. I tell you what, if I fail, you don't owe me a thing.
I'll tell you what I'll do, Jimmy. There's 50 for Luke and 100 for the other beggar.
50, 100. As against maybe life in the nick. Eddie, come on.
That's all there is, Jimmy. For now.
I see.
I'll tell you what else I'll do. You get me a different judge and get me acquitted. I'll make it 1,000.
£1,000?
What do you think I meant, raspberries?
That's very generous of you, Eddie.
You haven't earned it yet.
Oh, but I will. Believe you me, I will. With £1,000,
You look after me and I'll look after you, and I mean that. Anything you want?
Just the phone.
Help yourself.
Well, if you don't mind, I'd rather be left alone.
I'll be in here.
Right. Now, come on now, you stupid bastard. You've got the nerve. And a medal to prove it. What are you going to go for, 50 or 100? Now just take it easy, Jimmy boy. Don't be greedy. Just do it right and you can't lose.
Clerk of the Size, Ostrich.
Jardine and Company here. Regina V. Plater?
Yes.
We're on the list for 10:30 Wednesday morning. We're first on.
That's correct.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry to trouble you, but we're having a little difficulty over witnesses. Could we be put back, do you think?
Oh, good God, not again.
I know it's an awful nuisance for you.
It's rather more than a nuisance. Hold on. The very best I can do for you is not before 2 o'clock. Court 3, same day.
Oh, we're extremely grateful. Is that before Grimes J?
No, it's before Mr. Justice Bosanquet. Did you say something?
I was about to say, shall we notify the other side? We'll tell Miss Peterson, of course.
Oh, please. Wyvern and Moat are the prosecuting solicitors, but you already know that.
Yes, we do indeed. So that's not before 2 o'clock, Court 3. That is before Justice Bosanquet. Thank you very much. Right, I'll deal with that. Goodbye. Eddie boy, you owe me £100. Miss Peterson, Clark, please.
Speaking.
Oh, good. Wyvern and Moat here, prosecution solicitors, Regina V. Plater. We're in some difficulty over witnesses. We've been asked to be put back. Not before 2 o'clock, Court 3, the same day.
And not before 2 o'clock?
Yes, that's it. Thank you. You will notify Miss Peterson, won't you?
Yes, certainly.
Thank you very much. Goodbye. Wallace, Winfield, Wyvern. All right, here goes. Gambling man, gamble.
What's he doing?
Performing a ruddy miracle, I hope.
Is it bad, Eddie?
It could be, love, yes.
Oh, Eddie, be careful.
Don't you worry. What the hell's he doing?
Yes, please. If you'll let Mr. Wyvern know. Not before 2 o'clock, Court 3. Thank you. God's sake, shut that door.
What's up?
It's meant to be a solicitor's office, not the OK Corral.
How are you getting on?
One more call.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Well, I hope so, because I'm the only chance you've got.
All right, get on with it.
Turn that ruddy telly off, will you? Jardine and Company. This is Miss Peterson's clerk. Reference Regina V. Plater. We've heard from the other side.
It'll be all right, you'll see.
It'd better be, love.
Well, that Mr. Kirby's an educated man.
Yeah. Look where it got him.
I don't get you.
I know, love. You're like him, aren't you? You do the first thing that comes into your pretty little head, don't you?
I do try, Eddie.
I know, love. That's the difference.
Eddie, you owe me 100 quid.
We shall show, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, that it is the prisoner before you who planned and executed single-handed this extremely ingenious burglary. I understand from my learned friend that the actual mechanics of the crime are not in dispute. Let me outline them for you briefly. On the night of Friday, March the 23rd, the business of the day concluded, the staff of the Northern Counties Bank in Hill Street vacated the premises for the weekend. I should explain that this is a small suburban branch with a staff of 7. But even so, there was a sum in excess of £40,000 in the bank that night.
May we have the exact sum, Mr. Linder?
Certainly, my lord. £41,210 and 43 new pence.
£41,210 and 43 new pence. You quite sure about that?
Yes, my lord.
Please continue, Mr. Linder.
I am obliged to your lordship.
Now, where were we?
Adjacent to the bank is a sweet and tobacconist shop. The Crown contends, and will prove, that this man, knowing that the owner of the shop and his family would be away for the weekend, broke into it, tunneled through a dividing wall into the bank, opened a vault, and removed the major portion of money therein.
Of the money therein?
£30,500, my lord, all in used notes. The remaining £10,710 were in new notes straight from the Bank of England, which the prisoner would well know to be traceable. For such a careful planner, Plato was a little careless, and the vigilance of the police resulted in the discovery of a palm print in the bank, Plato's palm print. A search of his home resulted in the discovery of a pair of overalls covered with brick debris, similar to that found in the sweet and tobacco shop and the area of the bank vault. When asked by Inspector Frick to account for his possession of these overalls, the defendant made no reply. It was only later, when he was charged, that he produced an explanation. If his possession of these overalls was indeed innocent, you may find the facts significant, members of the jury.
I get the comment. Let's get back to the facts.
Subsequently, when charged, Plato made a written statement which I shall now read to you. Exhibit 5, my lord. Now, Detective Inspector, to turn to the overalls. Where did you find them?
In the garage of the accused, after we executed our search warrant.
Where precisely?
They were at the bottom of a pile of what the accused said was junk waiting for the dust cart, my lord.
Thank you. Were you present when the accused was charged?
I was.
Did he make any statement in answer to that charge?
He did, sir. He said, you must think I'm a ruddy amateur to pull a job like that and not get rid of the overalls.
You're quite sure those were Plato's exact words?
Quite sure, miss.
I put it to you that what he actually said was, surely no one would rob a bank and not get rid of the overalls.
No, miss.
And that the statement was made when the overalls were found by the police.
No, miss.
No further questions.
You searched the prisoner's home.
I had a warrant, sir.
Of course. Would you have said that it was a tidy home?
I would say it.
And the garage, was it well kept?
Very well kept, sir.
Did the prisoner give any reason why such a pile of junk had accumulated in such a well-kept place?
Yes, I've already told you, sir. He said, I'd have cleared this lot if those ruddy dustmen hadn't been on strike.
Thank you, Chief Inspector. No further questions. You know, Harriet, I think I'm going to win this one. In their search of Plato's garage, the police have stated that they found a pair of overalls. Did you examine them?
Yes.
What did you find?
The outside of the overalls was covered in places with brick and mortar debris and grease.
Did you compare this debris with any other samples?
Yes, that from the tobacconist's shop, together with traces found in the area of the bank vault.
In the area of the bank vault, what did you discover?
The brick and mortar debris on the overalls was similar to that from the tobacconist's and the bank vault.
No further questions.
Did you say similar?
I did.
They were not absolutely identical.
The similarity was very strong indeed. A variation of as
they
little
were
as...
not absolutely identical.
Upon analysis, I found that there were not sufficient points of identification to say identical.
Could the difference be because the debris in the overalls came from a different source than that in the bank vault or the tobacconist's?
It was probably caused by material already on the overalls before the brick and mortar debris were added.
Please answer the question. Could the debris be from a different source?
Well, it could be, yes.
Thank you.
But...
You say the differences in the two samples are slight.
Extremely slight. Less than 1 part in 100.
Do you find this degree of difference significant?
Not in this case. As I said, it could be that some other substance was present.
And how long have you conducted such analyses?
13 years.
Thank you. No further questions. And that is the case for the prosecution, my lord.
Mr. Plater, where were you on the night of Friday, the 23rd of March?
At home, miss.
Saturday, 24th of March?
At home, miss.
And Sunday, the 25th of March?
The same, at home, miss.
All day and all night?
Yes, miss.
Rather a long time to be at home, surely.
Well, the wife had flu, you see, miss, and she had to go to bed. We've got a couple of kids, and I had to look after them all.
Mr. Plater, we've heard a great deal about a pair of overalls, so may we see them, please? Are these overalls yours?
Yes, miss.
Take your time. Look at them carefully. I want you to be absolutely sure.
It hardly fits you, that's a certainty, Harriet.
Yes, they're mine, all right, miss. I could tell them anywhere by this hole.
Mr. Plater. Will you tell the jury the circumstances in which you threw these overalls away?
My lord, there's been no evidence to show that they were thrown away.
I will rephrase the question, my lord. What did you do with the overalls?
Well, I put them out with the rest of the junk for the bin men, miss.
Why?
Well, I mean, just look at them.
Thank you. Now, you've heard evidence about a smudged palm print found in the public area of the bank in question?
Yes, miss.
The palm print which was, in fact, on the public side of the teller's counter.
Yes, miss.
It has been proved that the palm print is yours.
Yes, miss.
Then how did it get there?
Well, I must have put it there, miss, when I went to the bank to change 2 tenors.
And when did you do that?
Just before they closed on Friday the 23rd of March.
Is the bank near your home?
About a quarter of a mile, miss.
Do you have an account there?
No, I always have an account in town, miss, but this one's handy if I need change, you know.
You went to the bank on the afternoon of Friday, the 23rd of March, to change 2 10-pound notes.
Yes, miss.
And you rested your hands on the teller's counter.
Yes, miss.
Mr. Plater, did you enter the bank at any other time during that weekend?
No, miss.
Did you rob that bank?
No, miss, I did not.
Thank you, Mr. Plater.
You ask us to believe that you threw those overalls away because they were old.
Yes, sir.
And for no other reason?
Yes, sir.
Then how do you account for the brick and mortar debris found on them?
Well, they must have come off a lorry, sir. We service a lot of lorries for builders.
You ask us to believe that they were from a lorry?
Yes, sir.
Not from a bank?
Yes, sir.
But the palm print, your palm print, that was found in the bank.
I've already explained that one, sir.
Not to my satisfaction. You say that you went into the bank to change money.
Well, it's handy, you see, sir.
Who changed it for you?
I don't know her name, sir.
Her name?
Yes, sir, a young lady.
Oh, you're quite sure it was a lady?
Yes, I'm quite sure it was a lady, sir.
Which till?
The far left one, sir.
You seem remarkably sure.
I went through all this with the police when they picked me up 4 days after it happened.
Your palm print was found some 4 feet from that till.
There was a queue, sir. They're a busy day on a Friday.
I agree with you. Extremely busy. So busy that every other print on that counter was obliterated. How do you account for the fact that yours survived?
I don't know, sir. It just happened that way, that was all.
And your overalls just happened to pick up brick debris, similar in almost every respect to that found in the sweet and tobacco shop in the area of the bank vault?
Yes, sir.
I suggest that it was you who entered the bank that
No,
night.
sir.
That it was you who carefully planned it all.
No, sir.
I put it to you.
No, sir.
You deliberately contrived to rob the bank.
That's not true, sir. I never went near that bank.
Mrs. Plater, your husband is accused of robbing the Northern Counties Bank on the weekend of March the 23rd. Is that possible?
No.
Why not?
I was ill in bed that weekend. He never went out. I don't know what I would have done without him.
It has been said that some dust found on your husband's overalls came from the bank in question. What have you to say about that?
Oh, I don't know, really. But I've never known him wear his overalls outside the garage.
To your knowledge, did your husband have either the means or the opportunity to rob the Northern Counties Bank on the weekend of March the 23rd?
No, miss. I'm sure he didn't.
Thank you.
Mrs. Plater, do you love your husband?
Yes, of course I do.
And I'm sure you'll agree with me that it is the duty of a good wife to try to help and support her husband.
Yes.
And that what you have said is no exception to that rule.
If you're trying to make me say I was lying, I wouldn't do that. Honestly, I wouldn't.
Your occupation?
Lorry driver for Linton's.
The contractors?
That's right, miss.
Do you know the accused?
Yes, miss. As Mr. Plater, I went to his garage on a Saturday, miss.
Which Saturday?
March the 24th, miss.
Why?
Well, I had a broken spring, miss, and a load of rubble on. We had to tip the rubble first. Mr. Plater fixed the spring and helped me to reload. Very good he was.
Was there much dust?
That always is, miss.
Can you remember what Mr. Plater was wearing?
Overalls, miss.
These overalls?
Yes, miss, them's the ones.
Are you sure?
I am, miss. He tore them in a broken spring. You can see the hole.
Thank you.
Moreover, certain aspects of the evidence you may consider crucial. The palm print is one case in point. The prisoner says it was made during his lawful business at the bank. The prosecution, on the other hand, stresses the fact that it was the only print partially, even partially decipherable after the pressure of business on the Friday in question. The matter of the debris in the overalls raises an even more important question. The defense insists that it also was acquired during the prisoner's lawful business activities. If you believe, however, the prosecution's explanation of the presence of the debris, you may find, members of the jury, that this tends to establish the prisoner's guilt. These are matters for you, and for you alone to decide. Members of the jury, you will now retire and consider your verdict.
It's Mr. Kirby, isn't it?
Yes. Oh, hello.
Do you have an interest in this case?
What do you mean?
I should have thought it was perfectly plain. You were a friend of Mr. Plater's, for example?
No, Mr. Jardine. I'm just nosy. Where my ex is concerned, I'm always nosy.
Are you agreed upon your verdict?
Yes, sir.
Do you find the prisoner at the bar guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty, sir.
And that is the verdict of you all?
Yes, sir.
I am not satisfied with the explanation of how this case came into my court. Send Jardine to my room. Yes, Miss Peterson.
My lord, my client has been acquitted. I think this is a proper case to apply for costs against the police.
I am not prepared to hear arguments on costs, Miss Peterson.
What on earth made the jury do a thing like that?
Well, you never can tell. Plato was lucky if it had been Grimes.
Yes. Oh, well, we live and learn.
Miss Peterson?
I just wanted to say thank you, Miss.
That's quite all right, Mr. Plato.
Miss, about Kirby. No, it's none of my business. Just forget it. Goodbye, and thanks again.
Goodbye.
Miss Peterson, I've just been to see Bosanquet. His lordship doesn't like me very much. And he's done me the honor to tell me why.
I don't understand.
His lordship is not very happy about the way this case was transferred to him. And nor when he'd explained it am I.
But surely there was a mix-up about the witnesses.
No, there was no mix-up. It was deliberately contrived.
Deliberately? But who on earth would...
And his lordship thinks that I am responsible. I've been warned, Miss Peterson. Cautioned about unprofessional conduct. It's never happened to me in my entire life. Can you say the same for Mr. Kirby?
No, I can't.
I mistrusted this case from the very start. I took it only because you wanted me to, as a personal favor.
I'm very sorry, Mr. Jardine. I wish to God I'd never heard of Plato. If James Kirby is responsible for what's happened, I'll make sure the judge knows.
Living well, aren't we, Jimmy?
I can afford to.
You're a pretty good fixer, I will say that for you. You got a couple of £100 for your trouble, didn't you?
And £1,000 to come.
Oh, yes, I've been thinking about that. It's off.
What?
I think a couple of hundred's fair enough for what you did, don't you?
Now, wait a minute.
Now, just let me finish.
You promised me £1,000.
Just let me finish. I've been wondering how you talked your missus into taking my case. Wouldn't be for money, not her. No. You tell her I'd got a couple of hard friends, did you? Say you might get duffed up if she turned me down, was that it?
What's that got to do with the £1,000 you promised me?
You weren't kidding, Jimmy boy. You weren't kidding.
Good night. You can finish off the champagne. Mind how you drive.
Come in, I want to talk to you. And don't bother to thank me.
Thank you for what? Helping that bastard Plater?
Your old friend Plater a bastard? Why? Didn't he pay up?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I took this case because I felt I owed you something and to save you from getting hurt. But it was money. He promised you money, didn't he?
He had his heavies, all right.
Didn't he?
1,000 quid. So what? You were going to take his money?
I didn't earn it the way you did.
Come on, Harry. I didn't do anything that bad.
Didn't you? I suppose you didn't get the hearing switched from Grimes to Bosanquet.
Yes, that was rather a good trick, that, Harry. Neat, elegant. It had a touch of style about it. Just picked up a phone and... All right, who told you?
Jardine. And the judge told him. He blames Jardine for it.
Jardine? He wouldn't have had the...
It isn't funny. I said the judge blames him.
All right, he'll get over it.
No, he won't any more than I will. Unless I put it right, he'll never be trusted again. The most honest man I know.
You really care about...
Oh, for God's sake!
Listen, Harry, if I'd got that 1,000 from Plater, things were going to be different.
Things will never be different for you. You destroy people. 7 years ago, you almost destroyed me. And now, Jardine, you never even thought what you might be doing to him.
Oh, I didn't mean to hurt him, you know that.
You never mean to hurt anybody. You just do.
Things would have changed.
While the money lasted. Go away, Jimmy. I can't afford you anymore. Just go away.
Never come back.
What would be the point? There's nothing for you here anymore. There never will be.
Trouble is, Harry, I'm so bloody lonely.
We both are. I think we always will be.